These days, like if you are in Twitter or LinkedIn, so you will see all these threads talking about all these vibe coding stuff. And really, LLMs have changed the way we used to code, right? For a simple bug issues, for simple code reviews, we are highly dependent on all these LLM stuff. Like even the variables, we don't know, we want everything in a quick way, right? We need to do the things fast and every stuff, but we tend to forget one thing. Yeah, so I guess everyone has tried any other tools like GitHub Copilot or Windsurf or Cursor. Is there anyone who hasn't tried any of these vibe coding tools? I'm so sorry, the talk is going to be so bore for you. So if you go to their website and see all this stuff, right? They used to mention like with enterprise grade security and privacy and all this stuff. And if you see on the Windsurf website, they used to like tap ship. And if you go and see the GitHub Copilot stuff, they used to mention like we are not responsible for your code, even though we do provide all these tools like Dependabot and all this stuff. But I don't know what kind of enterprise grade security they are providing. So they are just mentioning all these things in their website, but we are not sure about what kind of security features they are providing. They don't talk about all this stuff like the prompt injection, security, supply chain vulnerabilities, sensitive information disclosure, and the main part is the knowledge cutoff. Like if you take GPT models, they have a knowledge cutoff around 2024. Like if you see in the open source security landscape, people used to fix the vulnerabilities for every day or every week and every stuff, right? So how these models knows all these vulnerabilities are fixed or not? So eventually you will end up like Spider-Man. So eventually you start with vibe coding and you will see vulnerability as a service like the SaaS or PaaS. So welcome to my talk. Vibe coding with AI is cool until you get hacked. I'm Achanandhi. I work as a developer advocate at Keploy. So we saw all these things, right? We know what are the problems in LLMs, right? The prompt injection, the knowledge cutoff, and the security thing, all this stuff. Like how do we protect all these from all those things? You can do vibe coding, but with some other tools, you can do all the vibe coding stuff. Like I show how you can do vibe coding. So there is a tool, the tool name called Codegate. So it's a local prompt gateway. So it sits between your LLMs and your vibe coding platform. Yeah, so I think it is a architecture of that. You can use all this coding assistant, and the Codegate will sit between your LLMs and your coding assistant. And it is a local prompt gateway, like as a proxy. And it will watch all these secrets and the prompts which you are giving to your LLMs. And they've integrated the RAG kind of setup. So there is a stack lock inside project. It's another open source project. So they used to maintain a large database setup, like recent patches, vulnerability stuff. They used to have a large database. Once if you give a prompt to the LLMs, it will check all the vulnerabilities in your code. And it will fetch all these details from the database. I know I'm a little bored, so I will give you a demo and you will know all this stuff. Yes. So I'm using Copilot. So this is a vulnerable code. So I have added the GitHub tokens, AWS access key, and all this stuff. So you can see here, I think, the Codegate, the project which I mentioned, right? So it has prevented all these tokens to my LLMs. So there is a dashboard also. You can see all this stuff like VS Code, you can see the GitHub tokens. I have given all these things. But if you see in the dashboard, it is redirected all the tokens. So it changed all these things in the air-gapped instance. Even if you provide all these tokens, the Codegate will redirect the tokens. It won't give the tokens to your models. And one more thing is, like if you see the fabric.py code, it is a vulnerable code. You can see there are issues related to the vulnerability patches and other stuff. You can see we are using a Fabric, which is a deprecated package in our code. So the Codegate detected you are using a malicious package, and it also give you the recommendation what you have to do. So instead of the Fabric package, you have to use the trusted alternative other stuff. And you can see all the chats and other stuff here, what things are going around with these IDs. So why Codegate? So you can see we are not exposing our secrets and the packages, the code which given by the LLMs, like we know what are the vulnerabilities in our code by using all these things. And we can use security reviews also. There are workspace features. We can use any models. So the models, I am using the models which are provided by the GitHub Copilot, and you can also use any of these models. So the problem is, like, even with the features, all these things, like they recently archived this project. Currently, the project is not yet live. So they made it not like a maintainable project. So they made it like the archive project. You can't able to contribute or any stuff with this project. And I just want to talk about another OpenSSF project which Ram mentioned before, like the OpenSSF model signing project. Like they recently launched the model signing project. Like you guys have worked with the container security thing, right? We use Sigstore and other things to sign the containers, and we used to verify all the projects in the production environment. Like so, the same thing. OpenSSF created a model signing protocol. You can sign the models while you building your models in the initial stage, or we used to for training and other stuff, right? Same thing, you can do it with model signing. You can sign the models and you can deploy the models in the production so that you can know what are the models are not tampered, or you know the source of truth, where the models is actually coming from. And there is a good video I recommend from OpenSSF Community Day in North America. So they talked about how Google is securing all these open source AI models. So it's a good video. I recommend if you want to explore more on OpenSSF model signing. And they recently released a case studies on how Google actually secure these machine learning models. Yeah, that's it. It's a quick talk. Currently, there is no alternative because their philosophy is like they want something in local. So they don't want any cloud. So even if you see here, right, it is running on my own Docker container. So there is no alternative to Codegate. So,
I have a question. Instead of using Codegate, why can't I use a really small model like the Llama Guard 3? It's a 1B sized model running locally instead of something like Codegate.
Like the problem with these models is, right, so these models are trained on a knowledge cutoff date. Like if you see the smaller Llama models, right, so they don't maintain a proper thing. Like they trained on some knowledge cutoff. If you see any project or anything, right, though they release a patch on yesterday, but the model doesn't know the recent patch. So on that particular scenario, what you can do, right? So on that scenario, like you can use Codegate or any security tools which identify your code base and see what are the vulnerabilities in your code. Like the Codegate is not associated with any of these LLM models. Like it's a open source security database. It's secure. It scan your code and find what are the vulnerabilities in your code by the database. Like it is not associated with any of these vibe coding platform or any of these LLM. Like you can use these models securely with the trusted party. Like recent, if you see the open security database, it has all the recent patches, so you can see what are the thing.